It's like if you don't do it right, a lot of people are gonna be mad at you.
Well, like the thing is, they have another one down there.
Yeah, but I don't see anyone over there.
What?
I don't see anyone over there.
Well, I think it's automated. Like I think they control it on the computer.
Also, like I can't see anything right here.
What happens if you can't leave it?
I can't tilt it down very far.
Just pick the whole fucking stand up, lean it over.
I might have to move the stand forward.
Yeah, I just don't.
I don't know.
How that's
I'll figure it out one way or another.
I can look at it. Huff went out alone. They're letting Huff.
Hell yeah, Huff.
Not a boy, Huff. They're just letting
Huff's just staring him down. They're all laughing at him.
Yeah. It's weird up there.
Yeah. No idea. Yeah. red helmets are dope.
Big fan of that green.
And it goes in this corner. Yeah, you can't see it.
Might as well just.
I can't see it.
That's work right there.
back door.
Yeah, I was like, here it comes, and then they banged it, and I was like, it's over. We don't pay enough.
Looks like we've had a little technical difficulties here, but we seem to be back there after the West Virginia University Mountaineers are able to score a goal and tie it up 1-1. We're sorry about those technical difficulties, but we are back for good, I believe. We got a 1-1 game here, and Mountaineers are very much on their toes again. IUP is able to... And they come into center ice, and IUP's crossing into the Mountaineer territory. They put it on net and is off. Mountaineers looking to regain possession behind this thing. Judas is unable to clear the puck from their zone, but he's cut off, and it looks like he is a little shaken up on the play, but he is able to get back on it. It's a little rough here in front of us. We can't quite see it, but it sounds like there's a fight going on. The refs are quick to split it up and bring the players apart.
Definitely looks like there's going to be a penalty there. I don't know who it's going to be coincidental penalties. I couldn't really tell. There was just a big rush of players right there. And again, being tied right now, Mountaineers still should be happy right now. They played a very good offensive game, and it actually looks like right now they might go on a power play. And this is a very good opportunity right now after going down by one, getting that quick goal. How about you get another quick goal right here on the power play, rotate around, get a quick goal, and now you're up 2-1 heading into the perfect time.
5:35 left here in the first period of the 1-1 tie game between the Mountaineers and the IUP Crimson Hawks. Zone. Max Hedges comes back to collect the puck from Hugh. Max Hedges behind the Mountaineers net. Looks to regroup and start a new possession here. Max Hedges brings it up, crosses the blue line here. IUP is able to clear it out of their zone, and Jacob Hugh controls the puck behind his net. Lewis here bringing it up the puck for the Mountaineers. Finds Judas on the left side of the ice, who cannot control it, and IUP cuts it off and puts the puck right back into Mountaineer territory. IUP on the tough. IUP cuts off the Mountaineer puck, and IUP right in front of the net and unable to put it in. Jacob Hugh was just able to get his padding on it to keep it out of the net. IUP able to cross into Mountaineer territory again. They look to put it in the slot and does not have a player there to connect and put it on net. IUP moving it around the blue ice. Jukas is able to cut it off here, and Judas is able to come and pick it up from where IUP is unable to bring it back into Mountaineer territory. Max Hedges is there with the puck. Drops it off to Willis. IUP. Off again. IUP then tries to dump it into the Mountaineers zone, but is unable to do so. And the Mountaineers cut it off. And here we have a stoppage of play. Not quite sure what the refs are looking to get here.
You know what they were calling there?
No, I'm trying to figure that out right now. I mean, ref has his hand up, but I don't see any call. I think we're just going to the face-off right here. Maybe there's a missed call on the play. We're back here at the face-off. Mountaineers, Max Hedges controls it behind the Mountaineer net and drops it off to Beaversdorf, who then puts it up to Cosgrove, who is on a 2v2 rush for the Mountaineers. He was stopped before being able to cross the blue line, and he maintains possession in the Mountaineers' defensive end. Jacob Morris there tries to get the cross. IUP crosses over the center of the ice. Max Hedges tries to cut off the attack by IUP and is able to do so, but IUP quickly gathers it back and tries to get the puck behind the net of the Mountaineers. IUP looking to switch up to the blue line to look for the shot, and Jacob Hugh is able to block it off and put it right back into the slot. The Mountaineer defender cleared it. IUP was able to stop it before it left the Mountaineer zone and drops it off here behind the Mountaineer goal. Max Hedges here looks to be shaken up on that play. He looks like he fell down, and he's holding his back here. The ref is able to stop the play for an injury, it looks like.
Yeah, that was a very awkward fall by Max right there. You know, it looked like I couldn't really tell what was happening, maybe a back or back area, but again, just unfortunately, it was a clean hit, and hopefully he's going to be all right. Trainers will check him out.
Yeah, Max Hedges, number 44, slow to get up. Senior defender, captain of the team. So everyone's happy to see him up and okay and skating off the ice by himself.
Yeah, great to see him get off of his own power right there. Again, very scary things in hockey when you see a player go down right near his back. It's definitely the most scary injury to see, but Max get off of his own power, and trainers are going to check him out. Hopefully he's going to be back in later this game, because he's probably one of the most viable defensemen right now.
Minute 7 left in the first period here of the 1-1 tied game. We got full strength on both teams, 5v5, and the IUP comes out and wins the faceoff. IUP holding the puck here at the top of the blue line. West Virginia looks to bring it back around their goal and is pressured by 2 IUP players. IUP is able to cut it off before it leaves the Mountaineer zone. IUP captain looks for the shot at the top and is unable to get it on net. Mountaineers here with the puck in their defensive zone, being pressured by the IUP attackers. Mountaineers trying to clear it here, but IUP is able to cut it back off and dump it back behind the Mountaineer goal. Hayden Hinsemeyer here being pressured by the IUP defenders. The IUP is able to keep it. They put it up by the blue line and try to put a shot on net, which goes wide left. IUP here with the puck at the blue line. in the Mountaineer zone. IUP looks for the shot on the right side, and Jacob Huff's able to grab it with his glove.
Yeah, right now, Mountaineers definitely being on their heels right now. They got to get that puck out. They got to control their game right now. I feel like their wingers are just being a little too hesitant. They're not really taking those hits, and they're just trying to dump it out, you know. The game's a contact sport, so you're going to take those hits. So if they can just keep using those wingers need to take those hits, they're going to get this puck out and get the momentum right back.
Mountaineers with the face-off win. Looking to push the ice right now with 12 seconds left in the period. One-to-one tie with IUP having 15 shots on goal and West Virginia having 11 shots on goal. We've had a pretty close game here so far. I mean, a couple chippy plays here at the end.
So for IUP, obviously they need to step up more on the defense. But for Mountaineers, if they want this win right now, you got to go back to your old game and how you played all season with your speed and your puck possession.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Dom. Thank you for that. I'm Chris Bartometer on the call. We are here at the 1-1 tie of the West Virginia University Mountaineers hockey team versus IUP. We will be back for the second period. little off the time, but we are back here at the second period of West Virginia University versus IUP Division I Men's Hockey. IUP looks to dump it off in the Mountaineer zone, but they're able to, but they're cut off by the Mountaineer defense. And the Beaversdorf twin dumps it back behind. IUP zone here. Mountaineers shot on net, and it's curled up by the IUP goalie.
Yeah, right there. Again, Mountaineers start off really strong again. In the first period, they started off really strong, and now again, coming out right in the start of the second period, coming out strong, trying to get that second goal and take a lead really quick.
Face off right in front of us here. Ref looks to drop the puck. The Mountaineers look for the shot, and it's blocked up by the IUP goalie and out of play. Quick start for the Mountaineers on the quick start here for the Mountaineers on the opening of the period. Got a couple shots on net. Back for the face-off again, right in front of us. Looks like some sort of issue with the ice right here in front of us. They look to be fixing it here with their skates.
Yeah, it definitely looks like there might have been a little chip in the ice right there. That's definitely dangerous for players. Again, you always got to be safety number one for these hockey players.
Ref's still working on the ice here. Mountaineers here, still with the 1-1 tie against IUP. IUP's got 15 shots on goal to West Virginia's 11 shots on goal. West Virginia earlier in the first period had a 5v3 power play, which they were unable to score on, but nothing on the other side. IUP has not had any man advantages yet, and Mountaineers look to be keeping it clean. Hopefully they can keep that up and stay out of the sin bin for the rest of the game.
Yeah, definitely right there. That whole first period was very disciplined right now. And we have realized that when they're, undisciplined, unfortunately, bad mistakes happen.
Yeah, goals come from penalties all the time. Back in play here, IUP looking to push the ice right now, and the West Virginia Mountaineer defenders are able to cut them off. West Virginia with the puck here on the left side of the ice, looking to push it into the center. Mountaineers in IUP zone. Mountaineers look for the shot, Cosgrove with the shot, and it's a great save by IUP. Cosgrove coming quickly up the ice there and snaps one on the IUP goaltender, but the IUP is able to gather it up quickly. A couple early great shots here for the Mountaineers. They already have 3 this period, and we're not even a minute in. Back here for the face-off again for the third time right in front of us. Mountaineers win the face-off. Look to drop it back down behind the Mountaineer net. Unable to do so, the IUP is able to push it up into center ice. Max Hedges cuts it off and dumps it back down behind the IUP goaltender. IUP bringing up the ice here. IUP player looks to play it off the walls and into the center ice, but the Mountaineers cut it off before it gets into their zone. IUP defenders collect it before IUP can gather it back. IUP intercepts the puck, tries to put it into the slot, but they are unable. Back down for the face-off on the opposite end of the ice in front of the Mountaineer goalkeeper. Mountaineers win the tip, but IUP gains control. IUP looking for the shot at the top, put it on net, but a Mountaineer defender gets in the way. The Mountaineers look to push the ice right now. They're able to do so, and they dump it back behind the IUP goaltender. IUP then switches back around, and the Beaversdorf twin gets a huge hit right here in front of us, an IUP player. IUP tries to get into the zone of West Virginia, and the refs have a offside hand up. West Virginia here almost got caught on their on their heels a little bit. IUP looked to take the interception, try to push it up ice for offensive possession, but unable to do so because an IUP player was in front of the blue line before the puck crossed.
Right there was, again, very good stall right there. If IUP had that chance, that was very tough. The defender pinched, unfortunately, and missed the pinch. That would have been a 2-on-1 going against Huff.
Back for the face-off here right in front of us. West Virginia is able to come in the circle and gather the puck in the scrum. Mountaineers trying to keep the puck in center ice, trying to get it back into the IUP zone. West Virginia here in IUP zone, looks for the shot, and the IUP goaltender with the great snag in the glove. Back down here for the face-off. West Virginia looks to have won it. IUP then gains control and drops it into center ice. IUP looking for the breakaway, but the West Virginia defender was back to cover. IUP trying to keep the puck into the West Virginia zone, but the ref has his hands up for a delayed offside call. West Virginia is able to touch it, but the ref still with his hand up, puts it down, and IUP is able to get it back into the West Virginia zone, but without possession. Judas here with the puck, looking to regain control for the Mountaineers. Mountaineers try to dip it back into the IUP defensive zone, but they did it behind half, and the refs call an icing. So we will come all the way back to the face-off circle in front of the West Virginia University. Jacob Hugh. Mountaineers here with the win of the face-off. They swing it back behind their net, but fake it and bring it back. Mountaineers look to clear their zone, bring the puck into center ice. IUP cuts it off, tries to drop it back to the Mountaineers zone, but the Mountaineers cut it off again and are able to keep the puck into the IUP zone. West Virginia looks for the big line switch, and IUP gains control of the puck in their own zone. Virginia here with the puck in their zone. They bring it out to here in center ice. West Virginia cuts off the IUP defender from trying to clear it from center ice back into the Mountaineers zone. The Mountaineers are able to dump it back behind the IUP goalie. IUP here maintaining possession, trying to bring it up the ice. The pass in center ice, but it goes all the way to the West Virginia goaltender, who then covers up the puck for a face-off.
Yeah, a little bit scary at the moment there, Chris. The IUP forward was right there in the breakaway 100% right now. And that was a very scary moment for the Mountaineers, but thank God Huff was right there to stop.
Yeah, heads-up play there from Huff to be able to cover the puck and know that there's pressure on him. The IUP wins the tip, but they're able to not keep it in the zone. The Mountaineers able to clear it out there, IUP with the puck here, trying to put it into the slot. West Virginia cuts them off and gets the puck into center ice. IUP regains control back in their end. West Virginia with the puck here in center ice, cut off. Looks to push into the Morgantown defensive zone, but Max Hedges is able to gather the puck behind the ice. Max Hedges in a scrum here in the corner against IUP. IUP looking to put the puck in the slot, but Max Hedges again cuts it off and looks to bring the puck up the ice. The Mountaineers here with a 3v2 break. Max Hedges looks to drop the puck into the zone behind the IUP goalkeeper, but he is unable to keep it in, and the puck is too high and it goes out of play. I like the attempted dumped puck there by Max Hedges. It's a good heads-up play to try to get his defenders up on banging on the boards and trying to get the puck back, but it's just a little too high and the puck soared out of play. And here we are back in mid-ice for the face-off. Mountaineers are able to win the face-off, but are cut off quickly by the IUP defenders. Mountaineers here with the puck in center ice. IUP is able to cut it off, try to clear it into the Mountaineers zone. They're unable to do so. We have a scrum on the left side of the ice. IUP ends up with it in the Mountaineers zone. Beaversdorf is able to cut off the puck and try to bring it up, but IUP cuts it off again, tries to put a shot on in the slot, but is unable to do so, and it soars left of the goal. Max Hedges here coming up with the puck. Tips it to the other side. Mountaineers with the shot on net, and it is blocked to the side by the IUP goalie. IUP then gathers it behind their net, and they are being pressured by the Mountaineers. Mountaineers trying to keep the puck right in front of us here on the wall, but IUP is able to gather in, pushing up the left side of the ice. Now into the Mountaineer zone, looks for the shot, and that's well right wide there on the shot for IUP. IUP gathers the puck just before it's able to leave the Mountaineer zone. IUP here with the puck on the right side of the ice, then try to switch it back to the left side of the ice, and they keep possession. They then dump it off into behind the Mountaineer goalkeeper, collected on the right side of the ice by the IUP player, and they try to cross into the slot where they are unable to get a second player on it. They put a shot on net, and Jacob Hughes able to keep it wide. IUP here still with the puck in the Mountaineer zone. The Mountaineer right wing, Hayden Hintemeyer, is able to cut it off, and they go to push it. Hintemeyer here with the puck is tangled up by a couple IUP players, but West Virginia is still on the pressure attack in the IUP zone. IUP able to break it up and try to get the puck back into the center ice, where the Mountaineer defender is able to drop it back in the IUP zone. IUP with the ice here, with the puck here inside. Hintemeyer tries picking up the ice in the middle, but the refs call a dead puck.
Yeah, just some sloppy play right now from, the...
Seems we have a little technical difficulties on our other mic. Dom's trying to come in and give us a little analysis, but he's unable to because our sounds aren't working very well. Back at the face-off here on the opposite end of the ice. IUP goes and wins it, but Judas is able to come up with the puck and try to clear their zone. West Virginia able to bring it into the IUP zone. They put on the shot on net, and it just soars right wide. Mountaineers try to dip it back behind the IUP goalie, but it bounces off the wall and back up into center ice, and Judas is skating back. He played to the puck before it gets to the opposite side of the ice. Evans here trying to pressure the IUP attacker, but is unable to do so, and IUP has the puck at the top of the... And the IUP is able to score from the blue line from the great shot from the IUP defender. Just goes through the legs of Jacob Pugh. That is a tough play there. He had no defender for West Virginia up at the blue line covering that shot, and the IUP defender just gets a great wrister on net and goes right through the legs of Jacob Pugh. That's a tough one if you're for the Mountaineers. You want to get a defender out there and try to refrain him from having that much open space and getting that much of an open shot. 13-17 left here in the second period of a 2-1 lead by IUP against your West Virginia University Mountaineers here in Morgantown. Back for the mid-ice for the drop. IUP is able to win it. IUP looks to push the ice, but they're cut off by the Mountaineer defender in center ice. Mountaineers try to dip it into the IUP zone and are able to do so, where IUP picks it up and tries to skate it behind their net. The Mountaineer player is able to cut off the IUP player behind their net and lay out a big hit. Looks like we got a couple late antics here by the IUP player, and the refs call an interference, I believe, on the IUP defender. Just an unnecessary play there. The West Virginia player is down. He laid out a big hit on the player, but he's down, and he's not a threat to your goalie there. He's out of the play, and you don't need to touch him. But the IUP player makes a silly mistake and hits him while he's down, and he's going to see the inside of the sin bin there. That's 2 minutes, and West Virginia has a man advantage on the power play. 16 shots on goal to 16 shots on goal here. We got a 2-1 lead by IUP, and we're here in the face-off in front of the IUP goaltender. Here for the face-off. West Virginia looks to have won the face-off, but IUP comes in and takes it. West Virginia quickly takes it back, drops it back to the blue line to the defender, switches the sides to Beaversdorf, but IUP is able to cut it off, and now they have a 1v1 breakaway. The West Virginia goalie is able to save it and pat it wide with his leg. West Virginia here with the push. Beaversdorf looking to cross into the IUP zone. No offsides called here. We got the West Virginia Mountaineers for possession in the IUP zone. They look to switch it around the top. West Virginia with the puck on the left side of the ice. Beaversdorf looking to drop the puck into the slot. West Virginia is able to dump it behind their net. Beaversdorf looking to put it back up by the blue line. A great shot by the Mountaineers up by the blue line, but it just soars over the goal. IUP here with the puck in front of us. West Virginia cuts it off. Cosgrove cuts it off before it's able to leave the zone. Cosgrove looking for the shot on the top of the slot. Beaversdorf looking to put the puck in the middle of the slot, but he switches and brings it back behind the net, where he then gives it to his left wing. Beaversdorf here with the puck. Drops it back to the blue line to the West Virginia defender. The West Virginia defender looks for the shot, fakes it, back across the slot, but Beaversdorf is unable to get good contact on that puck and put it on net. West Virginia still with the puck here, and the defender tries to put it on net from the blue line, but that is tipped out by an IUP defender. 40 seconds here on the power play for West Virginia. They still maintain the puck. Beaversdorf here with the puck on the left side. Max Hedges with the puck by the blue line looking for the shot. To the other Beaversdorf twin here on the right side, right in front of us. Beaversdorf looks to put it in the slot, and he's unable to do so to his brother. IUP without an icing because they are down a man. 20 seconds still left on the power play. Max Hedges able to collect the puck from Jacob Hugh and bring it up the ice, Here we got Jukas coming up the ice, crossing into the IUP territory. Jukas backing up with the puck here, looking for his point man. Unable to do so, to go back into the defensive zone and collect the puck. Max Hedges with the puck here, bringing it up. He finds Judas back on the right side, and Judas with a little juggling move there to get past the IUP defender. Jukas back here with the puck on the right side right in front of us. Judas looks to put the puck in the slot, and it's cut off by the IUP defender. Now back to full strength, and they are pushing right behind Jacob Hugh, the Mountaineer goaltender. IUP still with the puck here behind the net of the Mountaineers. IUP here with the puck at the blue line, looks for the shot, unable to get it on net. A Mountaineer defender patted it aside. IUP still with the puck here, looks to put it in the middle, at the top of the slot. Unable to control, the Mountaineers look to clear their zone. Jukas tries to clear the zone, but he's cut off by an IUP attacker. But they still maintain possession, and Max Hedges looks to cross it into center ice. Drops it into the IUP zone, where it's cut off and caught by the hand of an IUP player. Max Hedges then cuts it off again in the center ice, tries to dip it down into IUP's territory again. They are able to do so and get the full line switch for the Mountaineers. IUP then is able to dump it off behind the Mountaineer goalie. IUP pushing here in center ice. IUP crossing the Mountaineer blue line. Scrum on the right side of the ice. Mountaineers and IUP both fighting for the puck. The Mountaineers end up coming up with it, and they have a little 2v1 break here. Little 1v1 on the right side. The Mountaineers look to put it in the slot, and they're unable to do so, and the IUP goalie is able to cover it up, and will be going to the face-off. Back here for the face-off. IUP is able to win it and try to drop it back behind their net. They switch it around and bring it up to ice, and the Mountaineers are able to cut it off. Mountaineers Cosgrove in front of the slot with the shot. Cosgrove leaves it off to his attacker and is unable to put it on net. Beaversdorf here with the puck behind the IUP net. Cut off. Cosgrove able to pick it back up, and he's tripped by an IUP player, but the refs do not call anything. IUP able to clear it up right now. Max Hedges is trying to get back and cut it. Max Hedges. Beaversdorf here with on the left side of the ice, looking to push it out of the zone. Tries to get it up to Cosgrove and is unable to do so before an IUP defender is able to cut off the puck. West Virginia then tries to push the puck. They have the puck right in front of us. Tries to dump it behind the IUP bench, but is unable to do so, and the IUP defenders gather it and start to bring it up into center ice. IUP crossing through center ice back into the Mountaineer territory. IUP behind the Mountaineer bench, tries to put it across into the slot, but is unable to do so. Mountaineer defenders pushing up the ice right now. Cosgrove with the puck, looking to dump it in behind the IUP bench, and they go for a line change. Hayden Hintemeyer looking up here to pressure the IUP defenders. IUP is able to drop it back behind the Mountaineer goal again. Mountaineers with the puck here, trying to bring it out of their zone. IUP looks to cut it off, unable to do so. Gets to Hayden Hintemeyer, who then tries to put it past. It's cut off again. Mountaineers gather possession behind their net. Try to bring it up where he's pressured on the right side. Looks like another trip by the IUP player, but the refs do not call it again. IUP with the puck behind the net, but that's cut off and being pushed up the ice by Wyatt Murphy. IUP able to cut it off again and looks for the goal and is able to get it on the interception from the Mountaineer player. The Mountaineers were looking to bring it up, but IUP got it in the right place, and Jacob Hugh just wasn't ready for it. He wasn't ready for his defenders to give up the puck there, and IUP was able to put it right in front of the net and get the one-time finish. Tough play there if you're the Mountaineer goalkeeper. You really need your guys to clear the puck, even if they can't keep a possession. As long as you get the puck out of the zone and you're not letting anything dangerous build up. And IUP just came in there and simply stole the puck and was able to put one on net. And Jacob Hugh just wasn't ready for it. He thought his defenders had the puck, but that quickly changed. And now the game is 3-1 for IUP. 7:40 remaining in the second period. 3-1 IUP. Still anyone's game here, I believe, but IUP's just shown that they know where to be in the right spots, and they just always have someone following up on their shots. That's one thing. West Virginia keeps trying to put it in the slot, but there's no one there to finish up. So 3-1 lead here for the IUP Crimson Hawks. 7:40 left, going back to center ice for the face-off. Mountaineers win the tip there, and Max Hedges tries to get it up to his attacker on the left side. Juke is up for the pressure, but is unable to stop it before it crosses back into the Mountaineer zone. IUP tries to cross into the Mountaineer zone, but it is unable to do so as the refs call offside. In this game, but I really do believe it would be beneficial for the Mountaineers to be able to get one in before the end of the second period. It would make the third period a lot easier than trying to come back and tying the game up. Mountaineers win that tip there for the face-off. Looking to pass through center ice, and they do so. Juke is here with the puck in IUP's zone, but he's cut off. Juke is still with the puck here in IUP's zone, able to get some crafty moves in there, but the IUP defender is able to take it away. Is gathered by Max Hedges in the West Virginia defensive zone.
Yeah, right now, Mountaineers, even though they're down 3-1, offensively they still look pretty good. You know, just a couple mental breakdowns that do end up resulting in goals, though. So only down by 2. It's the worst lead in hockey for an opposing team.
IUP on the face-off win there. Cut off by West Virginia. Jukas tries to keep it in center ice, but is unable to do so. West Virginia looking to clear their zone right now. Judas is able to keep the puck here, but it's cut off by the IUP player. IUP keeping it in West Virginia's zone, but Jukas is able to come back from the top and steal it. West Virginia able to drop it back behind IUP's net and get the full line change there. Ventura up at the IUP zone looking to pressure. Ventura here with the puck on the right side of the ice, pushing it into the IUP zone. Crosses puck to Max Hedges. Max Hedges puts the shot on net. Great save by the IUP goalkeeper, pushing it out to the left. Baptiste in the middle looking for the puck. West Virginia moving around the blue line. Dumps it back in behind the goal. Ventura here with the puck right behind the IUP goaltender. But IUP is able to cut it off and almost tries to get it out of play. IUP then tries to push it up into center ice, which they are able to do. Mountaineers cut it off before it crosses into their zone. We have the Mountaineers push right here, slot shot, and that is unable to be on goal. Great block by the IUP defender. IUP is able to clear back into center ice where the Mountaineers pick it up. IUP with the high pressure here, they're able to steal. Guys pushing in the Mountaineers zone. They put on the shot on goal, but it goes left wide. IUP maintaining control in center ice here. They have a little time before any Mountaineer player pushes them. They are able to drop it behind the Mountaineer goalie, but the Mountaineers are up on the IUP attackers right now, trying to steal the puck back. Mountaineers gather behind their net. Mountaineers here pushing up the middle. Cosgrove here on the shot, and that just goes well right. Looks like a stick of the IUP defender got on that shot. Max Hedges here on the defensive effort for the Mountaineers. IUP looking for the shot by the blue line. That puts it on net, but it is patted out wide by Jacob Hugh. IUP still with the puck here at the top of the blue line. IUP top left blue line. The goalie looks to be clearing the ice for the IUP Crimson Hawks. Looks like we have a delayed penalty up there. Max Hedges is able to touch the puck, and the refs call the play dead for the delayed penalty.
Yeah, it's not good for the Mountaineers right there. We do not need another penalty like that.
If you're having trouble hearing us today, we'd like to apologize. We've been having some technical difficulties. Our mics are not quite picking up everything we're saying today, but we're doing our best, and we're going to keep this game commentated for you guys as long as possible. Face off here to the right of Jacob Hugh, the Mountaineer goalminder. IUP is able to win the tip, but Judas is able to pick it up before the IUP can maintain control, and he clears the West Virginia defensive end of the puck. IUP looking to push it now. IUP able to push it into the Mountaineer zone. IUP now to the left side of the Mountaineer net. Top of the slot, IUP looking for the shot, unable to put it on net. IUP still moving it around to the right side of the ice. IUP now behind the West Virginia goal. IUP moving it around in the West Virginia zone. Minute 20 left on the power play. IUP looking for the shot, unable to get it on net, but they still maintain possession on the right side of the goal. They put it up into the slot and is unable to be on goal. And it looks like Jacob Pugh had a shot on him, but is able to tap it right above the goal, and it's not in. The refs call a dead play there. Not quite sure what they're calling right now. I believe they're calling a penalty. You see anything there, Dom? It looks like the refs called a penalty on...
Yeah, that was a high stick right there. I don't know if it was a penalty, though. It looked like it was just a high stick up in the air, and so that's why they had to call it dead, because the IUP player ended up actually touching the puck besides the Mountaineers, so that is automatic back out into the neutral zone. Okay.
But not a dangerous play, so they do not call it a penalty. Crimson Hawks still with a 5-4 man advantage here for another minute 13 seconds with a 3-1 lead in the game. We have 3:50 here left in the second period. Crimson move it around to the left side where they cross the blue line of the Mountaineers. IUP looks across the slot and they're able to put a shot on, but it goes just right wide of the net. Mountaineers are able to clear the zone here, and they're able to get it to the IUP defensive zone where IUP controls the puck. Baptiste looks to be cutting off the IUP before they're able to get it out of their zone. He does so, but the West Virginia defender dumps it down to the IUP zone, and IUP collects it very relaxed and calm. IUP bringing it up the ice into center ice at the moment, crossing and dumping on their goaltender. The Mountaineer defender then slaps it back behind the goaltender and tries to bring it around the other side of the ice to the IUP player, who then tries to put it on net and is unable to do so. IUP still with the puck at the blue line. IUP in the slot right now looking for the shot, unable to put it on net. Still a scrum there in front of Jacob Pugh, trying to get the puck out. Mountaineers still trying to get that puck out. IUP looking for the shot and unable to put it on net. IUP still with the puck here on the left side. They have the top of the slot shot, and that great save by Jacob Pugh with the left kick pattern, and it looks like the refs call it a dead puck, and Jacob Pugh looks to have the puck covered up. Great save there by the blocker of Jacob Pugh.
Yeah, right there. That was very scary for the Mountaineers right now. You do not want another goal to go down 4-1. That is not what you want for the Mountaineers. Pretty good, very good penalty kill just right at the end. Right there was a little bit of a mix up, but again, goalie coming up clutch right there. And now you got a chance. Now not on the power play anymore. Now you want to get the momentum up again.
IUP wins that tip on that face-off. IUP with the shot from the left side of the blue line, unable to get it on net as Jacob Pugh pushes it aside. IUP then with another shot in the slot, but it goes wide again. West Virginia maintains the puck with no pressure on them, except for now IUP decides to push up and try to get the puck to be able to stay in the West Virginia territory. West Virginia finally able to clear the puck, but IUP then again cuts them off at the blue line. West Virginia here in center ice. They clear it up into the IUP zone, where IUP then collects it behind their net. Beaversdorf twin putting on hard pressure there on the IUP defender. IUP still with the puck, pushes it up into center ice. 3-on-3 break. Looking to push it up, puts it on net, and Jacob Hughes able to block it out wide. IUP then dumps it down the right side behind Jacob Hughes, just past Max Hedges. Beaversdorf tries to bring it up the Mountaineers. The IUP looks for the shot on net, and Jacob Hughes is able to grab it and push it behind the net. IUP keeps getting interceptions here and putting quick shots on goal. It's coming out of nowhere there. Jacob Hughes got to get on his defense and try to get him to pick it up and be on their toes. West Virginia then is able to get it up the ice, and Beaversdorf's twins are on attack 2v2 here by themselves. Cosgrove then comes up to help on the walls right here in front of us as fans bang on the ice right in front of them. Ice is cleared into center. The puck is cleared into center ice. Able to bring it into the Mountaineer territory. Tries to put a shot on net, and Jacob Hughes able to grab it with his glove.
Yeah, not much offensively right there for the Mountaineers. They got to pick it up right now if they want to stick in this game. You know, I know there's a whole other period, but you do like to have that momentum coming into the end of the period, because then you can get that momentum right back. And IUP is now flustered in the locker room, and the coach has to put the pressure on their players. But right now, IUP is just cycling over and over and making the WVU players really tired.
IUP with the face-off win, controlling puck behind the Mountaineer bench. Not the bench, the goal. Mountaineers able to clear it out, but the IUP player is able to grab it with his hand and keep it down into center ice. Hintemeyer able to gather the puck in the defensive zone for the Mountaineers and tries to clear it up, but the IUP defenders keep cutting them off. Hintemeyer uses his speed to grab the puck on the right side of the ice, but IUP is able to cut him off again. IUP looks to clear, but it looks like we are going to get an icing call from the referees. Coming back down here for the face-off right in front of us. We got 28.9 seconds remaining in this second period. 3-1 for the Crimson Hawks over the Mountaineers. 29 shots on goal for the Crimson Hawks to the Mountaineers 18. Mountaineers there with their face-off win. IUP ends up with the puck though. Mountaineers maintaining the puck in IUP's zone. Mountaineers behind the IUP net, tries to put in the slot, unable to do so, cut off by the IUP defender. Hintemeyer here with the puck on the left side of the ice, looks to put in the slot, tries to get a shot on the net, is unable to do so. A couple West Virginia players getting tangled up there by the blue line. Got an IUP player down there, and he plays it with his hands, tries to scoop it out, and that will be the end of the second period. The Mountaineers now are down 3-1 with 29 shots on goal against them, 18 shots for them. We have one more period left in this game, and hey, Dom, as a coach, what are you telling your boys in the locker room trying to come back in this 3-1 deficit?
Again, you want your players to realize that they're still in this game. There's been plenty of times where a 2-goal lead has been blown by teams. So they got to realize that, again, another period that seemed like that the Mountaineers weren't going to their actual play style of the speed and puck possession. They seemed very flustered. IUP was capitalizing, and IUP kept using their physical bodies. And right now, I feel like the Mountaineers, if they can just bring it back to what their old ways of hockey, they can definitely be successful. And those 2 goals could be easily eliminated. It could be a 3-3 game, tie game at the end of the third period, if not keep pushing through. So the coach definitely needs to tell them about that, because they've had past success throughout this year against other teams the same way.
That was Dom Baccaro, and I am Chris Brightsmeter on this call. We will be back for the third period shortly. Thank you, guys. What's going on, everybody? I'm Chris Pleitz, on the call again, and next to Don Baccaro, and we are here for the beginning of the third period of IUP Crimson Hawks versus your West Virginia University Mountaineers. The IUP Crimson Hawks are leading the Mountaineers 3-1 right now, with a shot total of 29 to the Mountaineers is 18. It's been a close game so far, I'd say, but the Mountaineers are really going to have to hone in and get some good energy here to be able to get an early second goal and potentially a third tie here in this period. Back here in for the faceoff. IUP is able to win the faceoff here and bring it out to the right side of the ice. They dump it back behind Jacob Hugh, the Mountaineer goaltender. Gather it back on the right side where they dump it back off in the middle behind the Mountaineer goaltender. IUP is keeping the puck here. Beaversdorf lays out a huge hit on an IUP attacker in the West Virginia Mountaineer IUP zone. IUP's goalie lays it off to his defender, and Max Hedges is able to cut off the IUP pass that was trying to leave the zone into center ice. IUP then dumps it all the way back to Jacob Hugh right in front of us where the referees will call an icing.
Yeah, right there again. Now we're starting to put the pressure on right there. Good again. Third period in a row that we've started off really good in the first minute, but we need a full period this time for the Mountaineers to get back in this game.
Mountaineers coming on strong in each three of these periods so far at the beginning, but doesn't mean anything until you can get one to the back of that net. Here we are for the face-off in front of the IUP goaltender. IUP able to win the tip there, and they try to bring it up the right side where the Mountaineers are able to cut it off before it crosses the blue line. Mountaineers try to dump it into the slot, but IUP is able to cut it off. Mountaineers here, and Beaversdorf in the middle and tries to put a shot on net, but is unable to, and the stick of the IUP player blocks it. IUP then tries to dump it back behind Jacob Pugh, the Mountaineer goalkeeper, and the refs again call an icing.
Keep it with those icings right now. That will be working into Mountaineers' favor because players for the other team, when the icing happens, they are not allowed to leave the ice. They have to stay back on the ice. So they're going to get tired. They've been out here for a full minute. It's going to be close in the next couple seconds when they're going to be really tired.
Murphy on the draw there, loses it to the IUP player, and the IUP player then pushes it up the ice. Two defenders of the Mountaineers cut off the IUP attacker and regain the puck possession. Hintemeyer tries to bring it up out of the West Virginia zone. He's able to do that and passes over defense. Hintemeyer uses his speed to try to cut the puck back into the middle. Beaversdorf puts it on that and is able to get it in there just under the right arm of the IUP goalkeeper. Great speed by Hintemeyer to get the puck up the right side of the ice and put the puck right into the slot for Beaversdorf to put it right on goal and slip the puck right under the Crimson Hawks goaltender's right arm.
What a shot right there by Beaversdorf. Again, if you remember, in the first period, he ringed one off right off the crossbar. But right now, that is a big goal. Early goal right here. Mountaineers just need one more and they are tied in this game. This is a game. This is a hell of a game to watch right now.
Quick early goal there for the Mountaineers to be able to bring this game back into it. Beaversdorf pushes it up into the IUP zone where he tries to dump it behind the net, but then the Mountaineers gather it up top of the zone, and the Mountaineers and the blocker of the goalie puts it to the side. Max Hedges then dumps it back behind the IUP goalie. Comes back up to Max, and he then tries to send it back to the same place just behind the IUP goalie, Puck then slides right behind Max Hedges into the Mountaineer zone, where the Mountaineer defender then picks it up and tries to push ice with it. Mountaineers then drop it off into the IUP zone, where the IUP is unable to clear it. The Mountaineers try to put a shot on net, but it goes left wide. Judas here trying to keep the puck in the IUP zone. He's able to do so, and here we have the Mountaineers into the slot trying to put the puck on net, and they're unable to do so, and the IUP defender is able to clear it out wide. Cosgrove here for the, not Cosgrove. The Mountaineers defender trying to clear the puck here. Jacob Morris being pushed up against the boards by the IUP players. IUP has it here. They're trying to get it into the slot in front of Jacob Hugh. Jukas is able to cut off the puck and keep possession. Wraps around the ice to Judas, who pushes up the ice and tries to get into the Judas is able to get into the zone where he has Jukas behind him to try to cut it off the IU player that stole the puck from Judas. Mountaineers try to dip it back into the IUP zone, but the Mountaineers need to clear the ice before they're able to come back and touch it. IUP here in center ice. They dip it down back behind Jacob Hugh, and it wraps around to his left side where IUP then is able to grab the puck. Mountaineers cut it off here and are wrapping around Jacob Pugh again. Puck is cleared there by Evans. Then take it from the center ice all the way up to the IUP goaltender, but the rest looks to have called on an icing there, but it seemed to have looked like the puck was in front of the half line. Got a lot of players complaining about it out there, but seems that we are going to come to center ice for the face-off because we had a missed call by the ref.
Yeah, unfortunately there, refs do make mistakes right there. It definitely looked like he was past the red line, so it shouldn't have been icing, but good job by all the other refs to correct him right there. Now it's going to be a center ice draw.
Well, we're here for the center ice draw. Murphy is not able to win that draw there, and IUP collects the puck. Murphy tries to keep it out of their zone, but is unable to do so, and IUP then dips it down to the Mountaineer net. Mountaineer's looking to push it up. He has Hintermeyer on his right side. He then sends it back around the IUP net, and it's picked up on the opposite side by the West Virginia attacker. West Virginia attack is unable to do anything there, and IUP looks to push it up through center ice. They try to play it to himself off the wall, and the IUP player collects it back behind the net. IUP is unable to keep it in the Mountaineers zone. Mountaineers are able to send it into center ice. IUP tries to dump it back in, but the Mountaineers cut it off. They go to the line change. Mountaineers are able to keep it in the IUP zone there. They swing it back around to Hintermeyer, who is unable to grab possession. IUP looking to clear it out of their zone. They're unable to do so because Cosgrove is able to cut off the pass there. IUP pushing through center ice right now. Max Hedges able to cut it off and try to put it back up in the IUP zone. He's able to do so, and puck down behind the IUP netminder. Ventura here putting pressure with Baptiste, trying to keep the puck behind the IUP net. An IUP defender plays it out of play. 15 left in regulation here in the third period. Your Mountaineers are down 3-2. We have a shot count of 29 for the IUP Crimson Hawks and 23 for the West Virginia University Mountaineers. West Virginia wants to see another goal here early on and to be able to try to get that 4-3 lead if they even want to plan on doing that, unless they want to just tie the game and try to send it to overtime. Mountaineers here with the puck at the top of the IUP zone. IUP is able to cut it off and bring it through center ice. They then dump it behind the goalminder of the Mountaineers and are able to collect it right here in front of us. They swing it back around the goalminder and try to bring it out, but Ventura is able to cut it off and bring it through center ice. Cody Wilson then takes the puck and tries to put it in the IUP zone, but he's cut off by the IUP defender, and they steal the puck and try to bring it back up to the Mountaineer zone. Going to collect the puck in their defensive zone. We look like we have a delayed icing call, but the IUP player is able to make it there before the West Virginia player, so the play continues and the icing is drawn back. Little scrum on the opposite side wall right there. IUP tries to put it in the slot and unable to do so, and the West Virginia player then clears it out into center ice. IUP tries to push it back into the Mountaineer zone, but it's cut off quickly. IUP now with the puck in. Cosgrove able to cut off the IUP pass in the middle and push it up into the IUP zone, when then a IUP defender clears the puck all the way up to Jacob Huff. No icing called. Beaversdorf able to lose control a little bit at the top of the blue line. He tries to hit the player, but is unable to do so. He misses. The West Virginia defender gets back and gets Beaversdorf out of that unnecessary hit there. We have Cosgrove pushing up the left side of the ice, looking for Beaversdorf in the middle. Cosgrove puts it on himself, and it's up above the keeper. He's unable to do so. West Virginia at the top of the slot for a shot, and they get tripped up, but no play, no tripping called there, and IUP is able to clear it out. Max Hedges keeps it in before IUP completely clears it out of their zone. And we got a covered-up puck by the IUP goaltender.
Yeah, Mountaineers look very dangerous right now, Chris. They are just putting shots after shots on the IUP goaltender. And right now, IUP has no answer. They just keep icing it down. and, just trying to chip it out of the zone. But, if they keep doing that, unfortunately, playing super defensive usually doesn't work out, and Mountaineers will end up getting a goal if they keep playing like this.
Couple great chances there for the Mountaineers as we come back to this face-off that the Mountaineers win and are able to keep it in. Judas then drops it back behind for Evans. Evans tries to keep it in. Max Hedges with the shot by the blue line, unable to put it on net. West Virginia tries to put it back on net, unable to do so. It goes wide. Jukas in front of the goal, tries to put it in, unable to do so. Great save by the IUP goaltender. West Virginia able to cut it off in center ice again and able to control the puck in their defensive zone. Mountaineers tries to get a clever pass up the side for a line switch, but they are able to call an icing, I believe. Sorry, that was right behind the midline. Thought they were trying to dump it off, but the refs call an icing, and we're going to be brought all the way back down right in front of us for the face-off.
Yeah, the ref seems, they seem a little bit off on their icing calls right now, but that was an icing. But again, a little mix-up with the refs, which is usually not going on, but, again, they are professionals, but they sometimes make mistakes.
Absolutely. IUP here with the puck behind the West Virginia net. They swing it back up to the blue line where they look for the shot, but are unable to do so, and they dump it back behind the Mountaineer net. IUP tries to put it in the slot where they do not have another attacker to get a stick on it. IUP still with the possession up on the left side, looks for the top of the slot shot, unable to do so as Jacob Hugh makes a great save in the middle. West Virginia here, we're trying to get the puck out. Jacob Hugh with the great save on the outside shot from the IUP Crimson Hawks. IUP again trying to get the shot off, instead dumps it back behind Jacob Hugh. They try to put it in the slot, but Hintemeyer is able to intercept it and bring it up the ice. Max Hedges pushing up the left side of the ice. Defender right on him, looks for the shot on net, but the Crimson Hawks goalkeeper sends it wide. Great push there by Max Hedges. IUP looking to push back. We have a Beaversdorf twin trying to cover up that IUP attack there. Hintemeyer here in the open line changed by IUP, 2 players back, 1v2, Hintemeyer's got the puck. Murphy's there on the right side to help him out, but Hintemeyer is unable to keep the puck on the left side as he is swarmed up by a couple IUP players. IUP gains control, moving it slowly up the ice, trying to get a good possession rolling. IUP is able to get it back to behind Jacob Hugh, where West Virginia tries to collect the puck, but IUP then takes it again. IUP works it around the top, gets a shot on net, but Jacob Hugh comes up with a great pad save. IUP with the puck behind the net of the Mountaineers, but Mountaineers are able to cut it off, and now Beaversdorf with the puck on the left side. He drops it back behind Jacob Hugh again, and the Mountaineers bring it up the right side. Hintemeyer here with the puck, looking for the outlet pass. Hintemeyer looking for Beaversdorf's there, but the great play by the IUP defender to cut it off. Puck dropped off to Hintemeyer up top. He's pressing the IUP defenders and gets a great big hit right behind the goalminder of IUP on the IUP defender. The Crimson Hawks try to release their pressure and get it up the ice, but they're unable to do so as Cosgrove has the puck on the left side of the ice. The West Virginia defender looks for the shot on the right side, but is unable to control the puck and get a shot on net. He then tries to put it from deep in the right side, but then is not able to do so, and the IUP goalie saves it. West Virginia with the puck back in their end, dumps into center ice. Cosgrove going to try to cut off the play in center ice. IUP is able to hold it, and it looks like we have a trip on the play, which none of the refs are going to look to call. Beaversdorf here in the left side of the ice in the IUP zone. Looks across ice to Murphy. Murphy looking for the shot. Not Murphy. West Virginia there with the shot from the blue line, blocked by the IUP defender. Another shot, but it bounces off the back of the wall and bounces out to the right side of the ice. IUP is able to clear it out, but West Virginia then cuts it off again. IUP now bringing it up through center ice, able to cross into the Mountaineer territory and bring the puck back behind Jacob Hugh of the Mountaineers. Cosgrove here trying to put a little pressure on the wall of the IUP players. And sends it up the ice for an icing. Momentum's shifting a little bit here. I think IUP's got a couple great possessions together, and they're really starting to put a little pressure on Jacob Hugh. The Mountaineers started looking really great in this period, but like I said, it looks like it's starting to switch a little over to that Crimson Hawk side.
Yeah, Mountaineers got to be careful. They got to have a very good shift here for Cosgrove and Beaversdorf.
IUP there wins the faceoff, takes a quick shot on net where Jacob Hughes is able to grab it with his glove again. Great save by Jacob Hughes.
Yeah, right before I was saying with that puck drop right there, this line right now needs to, get their life back in the Mountaineers right now because, like you said, definitely it's been happening. The IUP's been putting the pressure on them for the last couple of shifts.
IUP wins the faceoff there, and West Virginia the circle to take the puck. They then shoot it up the ice and try to gain possession back behind the IUP Crimson Hawk net. Evans looks like he has the puck behind the net, and they try to get it up to the blue line. West Virginia is able to hold it before it leaves the blue line and dump it right back behind the IUP goalie. Max Hedges doing his best there to make sure the puck doesn't leave that territory of IUP. IUP looking to leave their territory now. They get it crossed into center ice, and now they have a little 1v1 break here. IUP looking for the backhand shot, unable to do so. Max Hedges is able to push him out. They turn and take a shot on the net, and Jacob Hughes is able to block it out wide. Mountaineer is cleared out, and Max Hedges is then trying to put pressure up on the IUP defenders to keep it there, but IUP is able to bring it back up into the Mountaineer zone. IUP putting on the pressure on the left side of the ice, back behind Jacob Hughes. They then swing it back up to the blue line on the left side, back across to the right line. Max Hedges then is able to cut it off and push it up into the empty space. He has Cosgrove on the opposite side of the net, who's looking for a great pass there. But unlucky, Cosgrove was a little too early into the IUP zone, and the refs are able to see that clearly and call an offside. 8 minutes remaining here in the 3-2 lead by the Crimson Hawks, against the Mountaineers. 8:07, 5v5, full strength, both teams. West Virginia wins the toss here. They drop it back. The Crimson Hawks zone, where it is cut off by the Crimson Hawks and brought back into center ice. The Crimson Hawks looking to have a little bit of a breakaway here, but the West Virginia defender is able to get it back and cut it off. West Virginia looking to push it up the ice. Beaversdorf here with the puck. Loses control, and it goes to the IUP defender, who then dumps it back into the Mountaineer zone. Mountaineers then try to switch it back through the back side of the West Virginia goalie. IUP is able to cut them off in center ice. They play it back into the Mountaineer zone, where Jacob Hughes is able to set it aside for his defender to pick up and easily take it up the net. Mountaineers pushing here behind the IUP net, trying to keep that puck behind the IUP net without them being able to clear it. They look to play in the slot, and unable to do so, they swing it back around the back of the net, where the IUP player is able to then bring it up and try to get it past center ice into the Mountaineer territory. Mountaineer defender is able to cut it off and sling it back up to Hintemeyer, who then goes for the puck. Then goes for the player instead of the puck, and neither players end up with it. Hintemeyer then tries to play it up the ice, and it's cut off by the IUP defender. IUP with the pressure here on the left side of the ice, right in front of us on the Mountaineer side. Mountaineers then cross the ice, but it's cut off by IUP, and IUP tries to tip it into the front, where Max Hedges is able to cut it off. It looked like he had a breakaway for a second, but that IUP substitution came in real fast to cut it off. He tried to play Hintemeyer out wide, but they're back in front of the goal in the slot, and they try to put one on, and it's unable to do so. Max Hedges then tries to swing around, put one on net, and the IUP goaltender blocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, right there, Max just unfortunately did not see Beaversdorf wide open, and took about a second just late, and the sub unfortunately got back on the defenseman, could put pressure, and he missed the pass right there. Unfortunate, but again, still in this game right now.
Yeah, unlucky play there by Max. He thought he had the breakaway and missed the pass on the left side. IUP is able to win the faceoff with 6:15 left in this third period. Your Mountaineers are still down 3-2. We have a scrum here behind the IUP bench. Not the bench, the goal. Anyone's puck here at this point. IUP ends up with it on the left side. The Mountaineers steal it back and are able to keep it in the zone, but the ref calls a drop puck. Six minutes here left in the game. We have a shot count of 34 shots for the Crimson Hawks and 29 shots for the Mountaineers. Evans here on the face-off, not able to win it, but is still able to grab the Mountaineers. Judas able to drop it down to Juke as he puts it in the slot, and Evans looks for the shot in the slot, but he's unable to get it on net. Could not control the puck. The puck is dropped all the way back down right in front of Hugh, and the Mountaineer defender is able to pick it up. Max Hedges here right in front of us with the puck, looking to bring it around and put it up to Judas. Max Hedges then drops it down low, and Jukas is looking to play the puck out of the goalkeeper. Mountaineer defender able to send it back in. It looks like he got hit up high. IUP player there loses his stick in the center ice, and another IUP player tries to dump it behind Jacob Pugh again. Evans able to collect the puck and dump it out wide to the other Mountaineer player. IUP able to cut off that puck before it leaves the Mountaineer zone. Great scoop and flick there by the Mountaineer defender to clear the zone, where it is gathered in the center ice by IUP. West Virginia cross pass to Cosgrove. Looking for the pass in the middle. He puts the pass in the middle and is unable to reach another Mountaineer player, and the IUP goalie covers it up for the dead puck. IUP here with the face-off win. Beaversdorf trying to cut that off behind the IUP net. Beaversdorf in the wall trying to fight with the IUP player to gain the puck. Looks like the Mountaineers end up coming with it. They swing it around the top and they're unable to get it to the opposite side, but they keep it on the right side. Cosgrove tries to get possession of the puck but loses it, and the Crimson Hawks are able to push up the net into center ice. Scrum of players there in the slot in front of Jacob Pugh, but the Mountaineers are able to come out with it, and Jacob Pugh skates behind his net to try to get the puck to his players. Beaversdorf then pushing up the ice, cross pass to Cosgrove. Cosgrove unable to control it, and IUP is able to dump it back behind Jacob Pugh again. That's a big thing here for IUP. They love to dump that puck behind the net and try to fight on the boards to win the possession and bring it back out to their blue line where they can get the shots. West Virginia looking to push it up to Hintemeyer. Hintemeyer able to get the zone. Hintemeyer drops off to Cosgrove. Cosgrove with the shot, and it's blocked out by the IUP defender. IUP then clears it up and over the defenders of the Mountaineers, and it looks like no icing there called. It looks like he was tipped by a Mountaineer player. Mountaineers look to push it here. The zone of the IUP Crimson Hawks. Crimson Hawks gather behind their net and try to swing it up the right side, where the Mountaineers are able there to keep it in the zone. IUP quickly cuts it off, sends it back into center ice where the Mountaineers maintain control. IUP then steals in the center zone and pushes into the Mountaineers. Crimson Hawks then push the ice back behind the Mountaineer. Big hit at center ice I wasn't able to see because the puck was down here on our side. Hear a lot of screaming going on, not quite sure. Did you see that, Dom?
Unfortunately, I couldn't see it, but it may have been a hit with Beaversdorf. There was a mix-up between the two. I didn't really see it, but, obviously there was a big scum, and it looks like that Beaversdorf, again, it looks like he's going to the penalty box, but I don't know if there will be coincidental penalties.
That's a surprising play to me. I mean, I'm watching the puck to our left over here, down behind Jacob Hugh, and all of a sudden I hear whistles from the center of the ice down by the benches, so... now we have a 4-minute penalty up on the board for the in the Mountaineers' favor, I believe, but I'm not sure. They might have taken that away. We're still looking to see what they're doing up there. As of right now, we still don't know the call. Max Hedges is in there talking to the referees and IUP's captain trying to figure out what went on. I think they're just as confused as us because those defenders were back here collecting the puck, not even worrying about what's going on in the center by the benches. But the players are talking it out, and it looks like they're coming to a resolution as of right now.
Oh yeah, I just got info from our cameraman. Beaversdorf went in for a hit, and the IUP player did not like that hit right after that, and so he took exception, and I guess there was a scrum with those two, and right after that happened, the IU player used his stick, actually, and I believe that is what happened. So it looks like there's going to be 2 different separate penalties, but I believe IUP will be getting the penalty kill there, and that is in the Mountaineers' favor right now.
Sounds good there. Thank you for that analyzing, Tom. That sounded good to me. Makes sense, and I think they're still discussing it down there, so it might be a little more complicated, but we'll figure it out very soon, and we'll get back to you guys as soon as we know.
Yeah, for a position for a ref right here, it's a lot. It's more difficult than just throwing out penalties. You need to know what really happened. You know, obviously there was a big scrum between 2 of the players, one for the Mountaineers, Beaversdorf, and the IUP player. But again, when there's a stick involved, it is very hard to make a penalty, whether it is a major or a minor. So I feel like the refs are just doing there, and it looks like there's a penalty for IUP, and it's going to be a power play for the Mountaineers with 3 minutes left. So now it's crunch time for the Mountaineers. They need a goal right now to stay within this game.
3 minutes left here. We got 2 minutes on the power play, so there will be 1 minute of regulation after that to finish up the game at full strength. But as of now, the Mountaineers have 5 on the ice. Crimson Hawks have 4 on the ice, and the Mountaineers looking pretty good right now to tie this game up. They got a little man advantage, and let's see if we can do anything here. We got Cosgrove in on the face-off. Looking good today on the face-offs, winning most of them. Again, 3 minutes left here. 2 minutes on the power play for the Mountaineers. This is big here. They need this goal before, honestly, the power play runs out if they want to sneak that 4th one in before the end.
Yeah, we just saw that is a major penalty. We just saw 2 guys go in the penalty box for IUP, so that is obviously probably a 2 and a 10.
Thank you, Dom. Mountaineers win the tip, and they're able to bring it back in their zone, which they switch sides to the IUP zone. IUP then clears it up ice all the way to Jacob Pugh, who taps it aside to his defender, who is able to then regain possession, slow it down, and let everyone catch their breaths and start coming up. Pushes up to Cosgrove, who then ice, uses his speed to get around the IUP defender, who tries to clear it out and is able to get into center ice. The West Virginia defender thought he had his other defender next to him, tried to lay it off for him, and the IUP player quickly comes up and takes it for the breakaway, but Jacob Pugh was not even attested there. Thought we lost the puck there into the bench, but it ended up staying in play. Puck in center ice, tried to dump it into IUP zone and was unable to do so. Little IUP clearance there, went straight for the bench of the West Virginia University Mountaineers.
Yeah, Mountaineers, they just need to calm down right now. You know, they definitely look very flustered right now, even with the power play. But if you saw, actually, I did catch it in the middle of the ice. There was an IUE player actually ended up using his stick that hit a Mountaineer player, and the bench for the Mountaineers was not happy. The players were trying to get the ref's attention, and it looks like there's going to be attention right now. I don't know if it was a timeout, but again, you saw Beaversdorf and I'm talking to the refs right after that play, and you need to calm down your game. They just shot it out, so they will go back into the offensive zone.
Mind me asking, but could the ref call a delay of game there?
Unfortunately, unless it is not the NHL, so only NHL is delay of game. So all will happen is it will end up going all the way back into the defensive zone for IUP. Unfortunately, that's only how NHL rules work, so right now, that's not a penalty.
All right, then. Well, that's a great thing to know as we commentate on college hockey. Thank you, Dom. So they treat it as an icing, you're saying? They bring it all the way back down in front of the IUP goaltender.
Yeah, they should. It already looks like right now they're setting up the face-off right now. Again, offensive zone draw for the Mountaineers. Power play. This is big. 2 minutes remaining. They really need a goal right now.
Minute 4 left on the power play. 2 minutes, 4 seconds left in the game. West Virginia down 3-2 still. Cosgrove in for the face-off. Cosgrove loses the face-off to the IUP man, who then swings it back around up to try to get it out of the zone, and they're able to do so. The Mountaineer player tries to stop it in center ice, and he misses it, and the IUP player is able to meet the puck down the ice on the left side of Jacob Pugh. 3 Mountaineer defenders on the IUP player right now, who's trying to keep it on the wall, but he's unable to do so, and Cosgrove comes out with the puck. Then pushes over to Beaversdorf, who then drops Cosgrove, and Cosgrove looks to dump it down behind the IUP goal, but the refs bring it back and call it an offside.
Yeah, right there, Himmeyer's he's just got to get that in right there. You cannot you can't mess around right now. So what they got to do, they just got to get it into the zone right now. They have Cosgrove, Beaversdorf, Hedges, all the right guys here, but they really seriously need to, just keep their game simple instead of trying to make the little dancey move.
Yeah, now's the best time to communicate with your teammates and try to get something going. You want to get a good possession going, get a couple shots on net, and try to get that last one in before the end of regulation. They're able to dump it back behind the IUP goalie. That's pressured by Cody Wilson right now, who lays a big hit out up on the IUP player. IUP now has a breakaway, puts it on net, and Jacob Pugh is able to make the save with the right pad. Jacob Pugh then clears it out to his left winger, who tries to push it up into center ice. He's able to do so, but the IUP defender cuts him off. 1 minute, 7 seconds left in regulation. We got 5 seconds left on the power play, so might as well mark that as over. Jacob Pugh then tries to put it down and send it all the way to his left winger, who is cut off by IUP. IUP there in the scrum back to the left side of Jacob Pugh again. IUP able to cut it off, and they drop it back into center ice willingly. They then try to drop it back behind Jacob Pugh again so they can get the line change, and they're able to do so. Max Hedges restarts there behind Jacob Hughes. Tries to get a good possession going. He tried to clear it up the ice, but the IUP player picked it up in center ice and dropped it right back behind Jacob Pugh again. Max Hedges gives up the shot in front of the net, but Murphy's able to cut it off. The Crimson Hawks they make an interception in front of the net. They try to play it across the goal and put it in the empty net, but Jacob Pugh with the brilliant. Jacob Pugh looking to clear the ice right now for the extra minute. He got 8 seconds on the clock. The Mountaineers trying to keep it in the Crimson Tide zone, but they are unable to do so, and the Crimson Tide are able to clear the zone and win the game. The Crimson Hawks win the game here, 3-2 against the Mountaineers. The Mountaineers had a bunch of great chances there in the last couple minutes, but they are unable to finish it. With a 5-4 man advantage too, you hate to finish the game with a power play and aren't able to tie it before the time runs out.
Yeah, that was, again, it was a lot of mistakes, just minor mistakes right there. Max Hedges a couple times, some turnovers. They couldn't really get the breakout working at the end right there with the last 30 seconds. But again, a little weird thing that I didn't notice, I'm pretty sure that should have been an icing 5 seconds before the game ended. They should have had a face-off, but again, right now it's game over, so unfortunately the Mountaineers lose 3-2, and they got to go back, regroup, the coach and all them for practice. They need to get ready for next week. But overall, it was a pretty good game. Some minor mistakes that resulted in some goals, but you got to also give it up to Huff right there. Man, what a save right at the end. What a pass. I thought it was a goal right there, but he just robbed him right there. And good luck to the Mountaineers. Definitely got to pick and eliminate those minor mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough call there at the end. Refs not seeing on icing that we did see, but like you said, great save by Huff there. I mean, you don't come out with the win, but you at least come out with a couple great saves and keep your head high if you're the Mountaineers and you want to go to practice.